turn my music volume down a little bit. There we go. Okay, this is crazy music. All right. Oh, it's 3 out of 3. Sweet. Okay. How you guys doing? Hey, Shaswada. How are you doing, man? Okay. You guys hear me okay? Does it sound all right? Too loud? Is it? All right. I'm trying out this new service called Pretzel for music. It's license-free music, so it doesn't cut out on the replay, which is pretty good. What's up, Byron? Hey, me. How's it going? I'm pretty good. All right. I just wanted to finish up this this Stan Lee sculpt here, and we might even get to some rendering. So we'll see. I've never really rendered during a stream before, so I kind of wanted to try it, see how it went. So we'll figure it out here. I can't. I'm just trying to figure out how to... It's kind of like Spotify, but different. I'm just trying to figure it out. Okay. All right, so I left off here last week, still needing to make his suit collar. So I'm going to make his suit collar really quick. By just grabbing the Topology Brush, making sure symmetry is turned on. So how are you guys doing? Having a good week? Isn't it like the last week before Christmas? Something like that? Hey, what's up, Neil? How did I color it? I just filled it with a color. All right. You can just use this, you choose a color over here, and then you just hit this fill object. Maybe with hard paint turned on. Yes, the concept is by Luigi Lucarelli. So I'm just going to draw this collar on to about, I'm going to go pretty low past here. Hey, Herdward. Okay, and then I'm going to go from thin to thick back here. Something like that. Oh, thanks, Ian. All right. That's not going to work. When drawing geometry like this, you typically want to go all the way past the lines. That's a mess, but it looks like it seems to be working. Let me draw that one more time. That's better. Hey, it's going well, thank you. Can you import a reference image into Sculptress? I believe so. I haven't messed with Sculptress for a long time, so I don't know. I'm not sure how to do it. I can't remember how to do it. Oh, hey, Shas. What are the new chapter updates in the course? Waiting eagerly for the anatomy series. So it's just going to be essentially the pipeline that's changed a little bit. It's changed away from Dynamesh over to Remesh by Union. That's pretty much the only difference. And then staying low for as long as possible. So let's see. split hidden. There we go. Here's our collar. Why always the cartoonized ear? Doesn't have a reasonable detail, or maybe at least an ear hole, because it's just stylized. I'm following the concept, so the concept is pretty much that. So that's why I don't do more detail. If I'm doing a realistic character, I'll do a more realistic ear. Cully, I did the glasses on the sculpt last week, and I essentially built them exactly like I'm building this collar right now, where I just drew the geometry onto the surface of. I just made a temporary surface that I could draw on. Yeah, Shas, I want to get that module done myself. It's been way too long getting it done. I've had so many things going on recently. Hey DD Studio, how's it going? Okay, I'm just raising this up enough just so it doesn't interpenetrate as much. And I just want to get rid of this edge crease right there in the middle. Well, thanks, Prashant. How are you doing? Not sure if I said your name right, but thank you very much. Hey, Marty. Okay, I'm going to pull this down a little bit more. I just saw the new Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, that movie. Oh my goodness. What a fantastic movie. So good. Yeah, that's what you're just asking. I just remember because Stan Lee has of course he's got a cameo in there where he pops in for a second. Yep. It's fantastic. I loved every moment of it. The animation style is so good. That felt more like a comic book movie than any comic movie I've ever seen. Esteban, I do not use a base mesh. I sculpt it from primitives to start with. If you watch last week's stream, you can watch it on Pixelogic's YouTube channel. You can see exactly how I built this guy. Hey me, how you doing? Thanks, Tom. Yep, good old Stan Lee. Rest his soul. Okay, that's good. I want to make sure none of these clothing pieces. I will most likely not rig this. When I do these portraits like this, I typically don't rig them. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to add thickness to all of these pieces now. What thing works better in terms of size? File or posing for texture? Texture with spotlight or make the art on UV with a different soft... Sorry, I don't understand that question. And I'm glad you're a fan, thank you. I don't know what you're asking. In terms of size of file for posting for texture, yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me. Sorry. uh, and Mohammed, I only use Dynamesh anymore if I'm preparing a sculpt for 3D printing. I typically don't use Dynamesh in early stages any longer because Dynamesh will rebuild your entire mesh, and it will sew things together like lips and fingers and stuff like that. So instead, I use Remesh by Union and ZRemesh. Sometimes I'll use Dynamesh if I'm just experimenting with shapes and form. I'll still do that. So. Oh, thanks, Neil. I gotta switch that. That's okay. Tom, yep, he did. Not too long ago. That's kind of why I'm doing this, actually. In memory of Stan Lee. Okay. But he did make it to level 95, so that's pretty good. Good job, Stan. That's higher than most. Okay. All right, I want to color his shirt a little lighter than it is, and color the collar dark. So let's snag this color off of here. Fill it. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, he was a high functioning 95-year-old too. I mean, he would still do Comic-Cons and all sorts of stuff. That's saying something. Hey, thanks, Fat Son. Painting with Spotlight. My file gets big, like more than 1 gig for the subdivisions. Oh. Yeah, you can do UVs. Okay, sure. Yeah, you're saying if you subdivide the model high enough to take the nice like crisp lines, like say from Spotlight or something like that, then yeah, you need to subdivide. Also, another thing you can do is you can make more subtools out of your model because it has a cap per subtool. So if your entire model is in one subtool, it has a cap on it. You can only take it so high. So subdivide up your model a little more and you can take each subtool higher resolution. Let's see. Which menu is Remesh by Union under? Oh, Tom, it's just under the gizmo. So see this gizmo right here? Right here, it's Remesh by Union underneath the gear, right there. So it's kind of hard to find, but it's right there. Remesh by Union. And that's essentially like using live Boolean without doing any Booleans. It just kind of meshes everything together without sewing like lips together. Neil, I am going to put I'm going to put lenses in the glasses for sure. And also, Pepe, yeah, you can do UVs as well, and you'll get way higher resolution in your textures. But then you can't use polypaint inside of ZBrush if you do UVs. You'll have to do your texture somewhere else. So if you're going to hand paint textures, you got to do it somewhere else. ZBrush only really works with polypaint. You can't really hand paint on a UV'd surface. Just to keep that in mind. Yeah, it does need to be centered. So the best thing to do is hold down Alt and recenter, like by holding down Alt and hitting this house icon, and then hitting this, holding Alt and hitting this circle arrow, which will reset the axis, then do the remesh by union. Otherwise, sometimes you'll get an error saying it doesn't match symmetrically or something like that. So you'll want to center your gizmo in order to do that. Okay. Let's get these thickened up. Oh, you were on the site looking through courses. I hadn't finished and saw that you put up my reference panels tutorial for people to grab the Photoshop file. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see. Shaswata said you were asking about modeling, animation, texturing, rigging. What is the best as freelance-wise? Which is more in demand as freelance opportunity? I would go for whatever you want to do, honestly, because that's where your passion is going to lie. Animation and character modeling are the two big rock star. They're in front of everyone, so they call more attention to themselves. So more people are fighting for those jobs. If you're just wanting to get into the industry, I would say rigging is the most jobs they're for rigging, and they're the hardest to find the people to do those jobs because it takes both technical skill and artistic skill. And not a lot of people want to rig. Rigging is difficult, and you need to know how to do scripting and stuff like that. So if you really want to be valued as an employee and get hired easily, then I would say learn how to do rigging. Hey, what's up, Chris? Okay. Yeah, you can turn off polypaint, but I'm saying you can't hand paint textures inside of ZBrush, if that makes sense. Can I show you some of my oldest artwork? I don't have it here. I'd have to go dig it up, but maybe I'll have to try and remember to do it during a stream sometime. It's all like pencil and stuff. It's not digital because I'm old guy. Okay, we're gonna add thickness. Let's do Q mesh, polygroup all. Does that work? I think that works. I'll have to go back in and edit that. It's going pretty crazy. Okay. Will I print it? Most likely not. I typically don't print my busts, but I have done a few busts for freelance recently, and I just barely printed them. And as soon as they're going to be Christmas gifts, so as soon as those people see them, then I will be able to show you guys on the stream after that. And then you can see, I'll show you the before and after, and I'll show you the bus so you can see them. They'll be my friend Aaron Reinhardt from Blizzard is printing them for me. He's doing a fantastic job. Can't wait to see him. Okay. That's looking pretty good, I think. I'm probably going to crease the corners here to make them sharp. Let's see, Z modeler, crease edge. That's better. Man, those are sharp now. Yeah, I'll show you guys during the stream. Probably, let me look at a calendar. I don't think I'm streaming next Monday because it's Christmas. Yeah, Christmas Eve is next Monday, so I won't be streaming. And then the Monday after that is New Year's Eve, so I won't be streaming that day either. So I'm going to be taking a break for 2 weeks for the holidays, and then I'll be back in January. Got some thickness to this sweater. And I might add this little detail right here to make the sweater have some detail. This one I'm going to push in, I think. We'll see. Because when you push in, it actually flips the normals. You can see that. They're flipped. So then you have to flip them back. And how you do that is you just go down to Display Properties. Where are they? Why can't I see? Display Properties and hit Flip. And it'll just flip them around. Okay. And I'm going to crease these edges here. And this one down the front. Just that V down the front. So I can turn on dynamic subdivisions. And then it'll be all nice and smooth. Like so. Yeah, it's a long break. That's the main holiday time in the US. 2 weeks. Yeah, I have a ton of older streams. If you guys want to find my older streams, you can go to you can just look up ZBrush Live. Do a Google search for ZBrush Live and just go here. And then you can watch me stream here too, or whoever streams on here. Then you go to presenters or schedule. And then here's me and the other streamers. And you can just click on my past broadcast and schedule. Then you can see all of my past streams. So they don't have last week's up yet, unless this is it. I can't remember. This might be last week's. So there are tons. And they're all on YouTube as well, on Pixelogic's YouTube channel. You can find them all there. These are a bunch of characters that I've just done in the past. So if you want to watch all those, be my guest. And there are some really good streamers on the Pixelogic channel, so you're welcome to check those out as well. And they're adding new ones all the time. They just added one. A girl started yesterday. I'm trying to remember her name. And she does cosplay. So she was sculpting some armor pieces for her cosplay costumes. Really cool. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want to go. Let me do the undershirt first. Pull that out. Yeah. And then I'll pull this one out. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then we can edit this. Color. This color. There we go. Thanks, Neil. So it's kind of hard to do creases when you have dynamic subdivisions turned on like this. And you can tell because, see those orange dots? Those orange dots represent where the actual mesh is, because this is just a subdivided preview. It's not a real subdivision. So you want to hold down Shift D, turn it off, and then crease it here, because it's much easier to grab that edge. And then hit D again and turn dynamic subdivisions back on. And then you can go in here and tweak this. I might have to add, yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to add more resolution here, because I can't get that sharp curve coming down. So let's add another cut in here. Go to Insert, Single Edge Loop. There we go. I can push one. I'm going to make one go down the center as well. Let's do that. There we go. That way I can get the curve here. Like that. How do I choose the right count of polygons for every part? I only give myself the amount of polys I need, I try and keep it as low as possible. And this is just temporary geometry. Eventually, if I was going to make this into a game character or something like that, I would eventually retopologize him. So this is just temporary geometry. I just need to get enough there to do the job that I need it to do. So like I just showed you, since I needed that to curve, I had to add another poly loop in there. Because the more loops that are in there, the more you have to adjust. So you want to keep it as low as possible so you don't have to adjust as much. Okay, I want to make this edge out here sharp. Let's go crease that edge. Okay. Now his collar, I gotta make it look like this. See how it's like, it's going narrow, and mine, if you look back, it's like going fat and it has a curve to it. So let's edit that just with the move brush. Just push it in and make it shallower. More shallow. What do you say? Thanks for all the links, Neil. That's looking better. Let's get it to kind of hug the surface a little more. Sometimes I'll do it with dynamic turned on, sometimes not. I don't know if this is poly paint, what this dark area is. Let's see. I think it is poly paint. Whoa, filled it with orange. There we go. Less color meat. Totally. There we go. Okay, I just want to make a little border, a little sweater edge border going down. Hey, CyberChris. Oh, thanks. You are welcome. Okay, let me, I'm going to uncrease this because I want this collar to kind of curve down and not be so sharp right here. But I want edge loop partial and uncrease that. There we go. But it looks like it's allowing the shirt to kind of shine through. So I'm going to do the same thing to that and uncurve this top edge. And then curve this little, let me turn this off so I can see it. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now the collar kind of looks like it's part of the jacket. And since we're kind of doing that look, let's do it throughout. Let's try and see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. I'm going to pull these points down just a little bit to break up that symmetry, or not the symmetry, but to break up the silhouette in the shirt right there. Oh yeah, Ara is amazing. I love, yeah, Ara reminds me of me. I don't know why. He's really good. He's good at hard surface stuff, which I'm not. He's a great guy. Where do you texture your stylized characters? Like what software? Typically here in ZBrush. I'll do all the poly painting and everything right here inside of ZBrush, and then I'll bake my maps somewhere else. I'll bake them down to a texture to be used in a game or something like that. Sometimes I'll take it to Substance. Sometimes I'll take it to, I'll bake my maps in Marmoset tool bag. So yeah. Okay. I'm not going to do anything crazy fancy with his hair this time. I'm not going to sit and lay in all those strands. I'm just going to like take some, just do some surface cuts this time. So not too crazy. Can I send you my work and know your idea about that? I don't really, so I teach how to do 3D characters online, and I have a course. It's over at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. That's what this is above my head right here. But I will look at it if I have the time. My email is shane.olson@3dcharacterworkshop.com. So you can send it there. And if I have time, I can give you a little bit of feedback. But I'm sorry, I'm crazy busy right now. So I don't have too much time to do that kind of stuff. Let's see. Mirror and weld. Something is up with this head. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to actually use the geometry that's already here to make that little bit of detail right there. So I'm just going to duplicate this subtool like this and grab select lasso and just hide that bit. Then I want to get rid of the rest of the stuff off the top. So let me redo that. Hide that. Then that. There we go. Delete hidden. So now I just have this piece. Now I can edit it with the move tool and make it smaller and kind of overlap that top a bit. Sometimes you have to get your model at weird angles to be able to pull it down and make it work. Okay. Marty, no, they didn't, unfortunately. That would have been fun. I would have loved to have done all of his morphs, you know. Okay, let's extrude this. And I want to keep this edge soft, so I'm gonna uncrease it all except for the center. I'll just crease this bit. There we go. Now the collar is interpenetrating, so I have to adjust that. Oh, Vert Vixen. Yes, Tom, I did. I don't know her name, though, other than Vert Vixen. Okay. Now with this, I just want to put in just a tiny bit of detail. So I'm going to actually apply the dynamic subdivisions and then subdivide it up to about 1 million, maybe almost 400,000. That's probably enough to get what I want. Alicia Bellamy. Oh, that's right. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, she's brand new. Started yesterday. Check her out. Check out her stream. Okay, I need to turn RGB off of this. And I'm gonna actually make a layer on here. I hardly ever use layers until it comes to detailing. I'm gonna make a layer and then I'm gonna make a morph target. Store morph target. And that way, when I cross these stripes, it's gonna look like this. If I didn't save the morph target, as I cross those lines, it would make a garbled mess. So, and I'll show you why I did a layer here in a moment. And I can also kind of start and stop a little bit right here. Just kind of cut these in. Smooth them back out. Probably too much. Smooth a little bit. All right. Hey, thanks. You finally started working instead of the alternative. That's good. Okay, so now that I have this, I can take the layer and reduce it. So it's just not so crazy. There you go. That's pretty good. So it's like 30% of what it was, maybe even less. So it's just a little bit of detail, just a tiny bit. All right. Did I miss any comments? When creating a character for film or game, do you create the character in a neutral face expression, like no smile? Yes. That's what I do. Just like Stan. Stan is sort of in an expression right now, but eventually I'm going to pose him up and he's going to look like this. But yes, with game characters, typically just neutral pose, neutral expression. Okay. I'm going to just detail out his hair kind of in the same way. I forgot to turn the layers off of this guy. Yeah, there we go. So you want them off recording mode. You want them in visual mode, but off recording mode. Why do IMM brushes not work in layers? Because layers are finicky, fickle little buggers. And I only use layers to do either paint detail or texture detail in the surface, and that's it. That's pretty much all I use layers for. And that's me personally, just because layers don't work with so many other tools. They kind of hinder my workflow. So I use them specifically for, like what I said, texture detail and like noise or surface detail, like when I'm actually hand doing something like that. If you have a layer on and send it to say Keyshot using the bridge, will the layer go over as well? It should. We're going to try it. It should. Okay. So let's, I'm going to do the same thing to this. Subdivide it up. Hit apply a couple times. Now, make sure you don't have real subdivisions and dynamic subdivisions turned on at the same time. They don't get along together well. So you want to have one or the other, not both. Okay, so with this, I'm just going to use clay buildup, and I'm just going to hand do some little details in his hair. So just kind of the old school. I'm going to do it with symmetry first, and then turn off symmetry later. Cyber Chris, I might. Yes, I'm only texturing in Zbrush with this guy. I'll cut some in and build some up. Stanley, yep. Okay, and when I get up to this front point, I'll typically turn off symmetry. Just make that hairline just not even, you know? Turn symmetry back on and work my way down some more. This is with a smaller brush, just adding little smaller hairs and things. But typically what I'll do is I'll go with a big brush just to kind of lay in the large hairs, whatever. Oh, hey, Saran. Thanks. I used to have a lapel mic, one of these little ones. You know, these little guys that clip to your shirt, and I took it to CTN in California and it died. I don't know what happened to it. So now I'm using this one. This is the one I record all of my videos with for my course. Okay, I'm turning off symmetry now, just so I can kind of crisscross back and forth. Kind of looks like a basket. Hello from Ukraine. How's it going? Yeah, watching me live. This is live, not recorded. Okay, we're not going to see the back, so I'm not going to spend too much time back there. But I do want to pull out some of these hairs that you see with the snake hook brush. Oh, not with RGB turned on though. They don't really look like hairs. Okay, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use the Macan hairbrush just for that bit right there. So duplicate. I'm going to roll this down. Get rid of the subdivision levels. And then use the Macan hairbrush. Yeah, it's true. True. Okay, let's see. Stroke. Where? I swear it was under modifiers. There it is. Okay. Yeah, let's go that one. Okay. So I just made a temporary hair thing just so I could get this drawn onto the surface because I just want these little hairs kind of sticking out the back. And I'm going to delete this. Whoops. Delete that. Okay. Because I'm just going to embed this now into his other hair. And I don't care that it's not going to look perfect back there. I just want to see it from the sides because we're going to look at it from the front. So Neil just barely posted a link inside of Twitch, Sheswada. I don't know if you can post one over on YouTube. But it's just funky bunnies, and it's called the Macan hairbrush. It's made by Benjamin Hale and Chris Whitaker. That's Chris Whitaker's website that he's got it on, but it's kind of a... It started with Benjamin Hale. He made the original one. And then Chris edited it a bit and put it up on his website. But I love it. It's great. It's a total cheater brush. Okay. I'm going to mirror it to the other side here. Okay. So mirror and then mirror and weld. There we go. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I care about. This is what it looks like from this angle. Whoa. Okay. Okay, let's get him posed up. I want to make... I'm trying to decide if I want to paint his eyelashes in or if I want to actually make geometry for them. But we're almost gonna... We're just about ready to go to render. Just want to adjust this collar down a little bit. Okay. Then I want to build the lenses for the insides of his glasses because I'm going to put a material on them to hopefully get those to work. Ian, no, this is just for a render. Only for a render. Oh yeah, thanks me. I'm going to do that too. Yeah, mustache lines. So I'll do that. Let's build the lenses and do the mustache hair. Let's do the mustache hair right now. Thanks for reminding me. Divide that up. Grab this. Where are you, clay buildup? There we go. I want to cut in just so I can like yeah, do some variations like this. Can you guys hear the music at all? I'm gonna have it turned down today because it's kind of a random. I don't know what's gonna show up. Yeah, no music. There you go. All right, me. Okay, it was super quiet. Because it was kind of playing some pretty crappy crap. Okay. That'll work. Let's hurry and do some lenses. This will be interesting because what I'm going to try and do is build some temporary geometry over the top of these and then add thickness. It'll be interesting. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, duplicate. Make sure I don't have any subdivision levels, because this doesn't work with subdivision levels. With those little extra hair pieces, is it worthwhile to Dynamesh them, or would that only be if you wanted to 3D print it? Just if I wanted to 3D print. Yep. Then I would end up decimating it too, so I would, it would end up taking it, you know, taking it to very low triangles. But typically I'll Dynamesh to make my model watertight in order for, so I can 3D print it. But right now what I do is I essentially get to this point where if I ever need more geometry for details, then I will actually hit apply on that dynamic subdivision level so I can get 3 subdivision levels, and then I'll divide it higher so it gives me enough enough subdivisions so I can put surface detail in there. There's no reason to really Dynamesh at that point. Okay, sorry, nose is itching today. Okay, here we go. Topology brush. And I'm just going to draw right along here. And then along here. This might be weird, but I'm going to go like this. Okay, it still worked. Like that, like this, and like this. Yeah, it didn't work. Okay, I want to do something else then. Let's see. You know, I'll just insert a cube and just shape it. So I'm just going to delete everything that's not the front of it. Like that. Delete hidden. There we go. No, not really. It's just kind of the way I decided to do it this go round. Yeah, no, I totally appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's, you know, it's funny you say that because not too long ago, my grandma said the exact, you know, something very similar. And she is not a technical person, and she's 95. Well, she's 90 something. 94, 95. She's up there with Stan Lee. She made it farther than Stan Lee, but yeah, it was super cute. But thank you, I appreciate it. Hey Tenchi, how's it going? From Indonesia, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. All right, so I'm gonna push this lens into the glasses now, so I can tweak it a little more. Okay, now I can add some thickness, but I'm gonna split it off to its own thing. Then I can delete these because I already have a pair of glasses right there. Okay, Z-Modeler, I'm going to push this in. But that's going to flip the normals. Since I have double turned on, you can't tell, but I just know that it's going to flip the normals when you push it in rather than pull it out. So then I can just go to Display Properties and hit Flip. Then I want to crease these corners, otherwise it's going to make rounded corners on the top. So I need to crease them. Let's see. There we go. Much better. So there's the lenses. Was it 38 hours to make that cowboy? That's crazy. I never added it up. I knew I took a break once in a while, so in between there was some, like I'd do a head here and there, or a different character, just to break it up. Okay. There we go. I'm going to just tint these kind of a purplish blue here. More purple. Yeah, something like that. And see, they can take on the color of that tint when I bring him in. His glasses are kind of, sometimes they're even brownish, so we'll have to try some things. Okay, let's get him saved. I do want to put a, is there a crease? It looks like there's already a crease down in here. It just kind of looks weird. Then I'm going to apply this and add a couple more subdivision levels. Too quick. Too slow. Come on. Just kind of pulling this down. I'm ruining it. Let's take a step back and look at it. See if we can get this to pull down. Oh, it's not creased. Okay. Let's crease this. Down in that valley. There we go. There we go. Okay. No longer broken. Hey, what's up, Jace? Thanks, man. There's really not... There is, but it doesn't work how you would want it to. I just kind of put those in place to... I'll put a transparency shader on them in Keyshot. Okay, I'm just going to apply... I'm just getting rid of those extra lines in there. Okay. Then I'm going to actually apply to the face, add a couple more. So I want to get some of his crow's feet around his eyes. So I save little details like this until the very, very end. Because you can't really see them anyway, so... Okay. Alright, let's get him posed. Pose him, pose him. And hopefully that the layer doesn't mess it up. So I'm going to actually kill the layer of this. Bake it. Because I like it. So no more layers on there. Because layers and posing, sometimes they don't work very well. Thanks, Tenchi. All right. So let's get him posed. Keep saying that, but let's do it. So I'm going to test him out. He might crash. So before I go into the pose mode, I always do a save. Okay, then we'll hit Tipos Mesh. He's going to turn all blue. Oh, you know what? I didn't bring his glasses with. I think I need to bring those. I might just leave them straight. Anyway, let me go back up to pose. Because this is what you always want to test. You always want to go down. I call it going down and coming back up. Going down into pose mode and coming back up into high resolution mode. There we go. It worked. Transfer pose completed. Now I know that I'm good to pose and it's not going to break. Okay, but I want to show those lenses that I made. I don't know what the hell. I can get rid of this. Not duplicate, delete. So that's what I used. I could have used that for the lenses, I guess. I didn't know I still had it. Then I can delete his old heads. Just doing a real quick cleanup pass. Okay. Looks like we're good. Okay, so Tipos Mesh, basically what it does is it's putting everything into the lowest subdivision level of each of the subtools and combining them all together into one subtool right over here. It's just a temporary subtool. It puts it over there, and now it allows me to pose him. Then I'll grab my handy dandy mask lasso. We're just going to mask his head. And blur it, blur that mask and flip it, because I want to turn his head. Actually, what I'm going to do is turn his body towards this way. Okay. This is the part I usually do off screen. Okay, let's get that. I'm going to hide the glasses because I don't want to affect them right now, and just crank his smile up. Pose this one up, bring this one down a little bit. Turn on the topological brush because I'm just going to pull the eyes down. Hey, what's up, Night Shadow? What do you use to crease instead of adding more vertices to make sharp edges? It's just a crease brush. It's just it's under the Z modeler called crease. So if you hover over an edge and hold down spacebar, it's crease, and it just creases the edge. Yeah, adding more edges is kind of the hard surface way to do things. You know, if you're making a hard surface model. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull his smile up even more. Ian, I wish I did. I've been close to him twice, but I never did get the chance to meet him in person. I was at Comic-Con in San Diego, and he was doing a signing there, and I was just, you know, walked past him when he was at the table, and then he was here in Salt Lake City doing some signings, and he walked past me to go to where he was going to sign there. So that's pretty much it. I wish I would have actually had him sign something. That would be cool, but pull this off center. And I kind of want to sometimes I'll just pull stuff around too. pull the shoulders up on this shirt more. Okay, and then I usually pose his eyes not in this mode. I usually pose the character's eyes when just in the regular subtool. Yes, I'm only working in ZBrush. Yep, I've seen Wreck-It Ralph 2. It's fantastic. I loved it. Okay, so now that when we're at this point, I think we're good enough to push it over. So then I've hit T-pose to sub-T. And then it'll take, this is always fun to watch. Then it'll take it and transfer everything to the high resolution. There you go. Took 7 seconds. And it looks like his skin's poking through here. I'll just pull that down a little bit. Okay, now, so all the stuff you do at this lower level transfers up to the high. Yep. Okay. Then I'll turn off the glasses. And I want to add the little, the black line in his eyes. And the reason I turned his torso instead of his head is I can still keep symmetry. So I still have symmetry in his head, even though I don't have it in his body, I guess. So I'm just going to paint some eyelashes on here. All right, I gotta turn this better. Ah, come on. Let's see what happens if I hide that eye. Gosh dang it. I'm trying to draw right on the, right along the edge of that. This is why it's why geometry is so much easier to work with than actually trying to draw this on by hand. There we go. Okay, sweet. Third time's a charm, right? There we go. All of a sudden it looks like Stan Lee. Holy crap. All right. H-polish and my polish brush. So, well, I can show you really fast. Let's just take a break and talk about polish brushes for a second. So I'm going to subdivide this up. It's just a sphere. And if you grab this polish brush right here, you can get these brushes for free, by the way, over on 3dcharacterworkshop.com. And this is a variation of the SK polish brush. So just so you know, it didn't start with me. I just tweaked it a little bit more. So basically when you push down on the surface like this, it's going to take it to a flat edge. See how it's just almost perfectly flat like that? And yeah, just no matter how hard you push, it's just going to go flat like that. Flat, super flat. So if you hit the H polish brush, which is right here, and you do the same thing, it does that, and it's a face. But it goes beyond flat, like pretty heavily. See that? It'll keep going. So it'll push past the surface. But if you go really super light, you can kind of get the same. A similar effect, but you can see that it's starting to bulge out on the edges. See that? So my polish brush is good, except for it won't work on low resolution meshes, only high resolution meshes. So keep that in mind. It'll do all sorts of weird stuff if you don't have enough resolution. Okay. All right. So let's. I need to turn his eyes. And I want to I'm just going to actually turn his pupils, irises, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. I'm trying to decide what I want to do here. Because if I combine them with the eyes, then I can get a center, and I can center my gizmo in the center of that eye. And right now I can't. It's hard. So I'm going to... they're both in dynamic. See, dynamic subdiv. So the eyes and the retinas. So I'm going to merge them down. Before I do that, I'm going to save as Stanley posed. I always do that. So now I can always go back to my neutral pose if ever I want to do that. What's up, Grubber? So merge down. There we go. You can see how crazy those irises look. They're weird on the, they're not equal on the surface. So we're going to fix that too. All right. Anyway, I'm going to do an auto groups to put everything in its own group. Kind of looks crazy with it looking like that. He looks kind of wall-eyed a little bit. Okay. So if I mask this eye off with symmetry turned off, make sure I gotta make sure I get it right here. Let's do this. Okay, so mask this eye off. Now if I hold down Alt and I click on this go to unmasked mesh center, it's going to go to this center of this. It's going to take this into account, but it's close enough. Now, let's turn that off. Now I can move this over and make him look like he's looking sideways. Then I can invert that mask, do the same thing, center it over here, make it look like he's looking to his right. There you go. And his eyes are a little more... You want that iris brush. Might happen. Let's see. I'm gonna pull his eyelids down just a bit. I need to turn on topological and turn range down to 3 so it doesn't affect that lower eyelid. Just close his eyes just a little bit more. Oh, we got symmetry on. Okay. Give him a little more of a hairline back here. I don't know if that's going to break it or not, but I'm going to try. Okay. All right. That did break it. I'm going to undo that. I'll just leave it. Okay. Yeah, they are. I tend to make my eyes bigger. I can shrink them up a little bit. Let's do it. Let's try it. Go round this out a little bit. And show more teeth, less mustache. These are just little tweaky bits. Tweaky bits. Then I want to cut in his smile lines a little deeper. Looks funny without all of his face pieces. Maybe not that one. Okay, cool. Growing that forehead out. Oh yeah, it kind of does. Slowly. Totally. That guy's hilarious. Okay. Time we got 1:17, 45 minutes maybe left, a little bit, 43. Okay, I want to cut in. Well, I'm going to smooth out these, just the lower eyelids on the outside. Actually, I'm going to use the fill brush. And then cut them in, maybe with the pinch. Okay. Okay, one last thing. I'm gonna save it again. Sometimes I'll do big moves just to try stuff, so let's see what happens. Going back down to Tipos Mesh again, because I really want his head bigger, embiggened. That's probably too much, but I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. Watch it grow. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Waluigi, what's up? Okay. How do we set the real world scale inside of ZBrush? That's a huge question that I probably don't have time to answer right now, but there is an Ask ZBrush video on it. Yeah, just type Ask ZBrush. Let me find it. Yeah, that's a huge question. Yeah, Danny Mac has a good tutorial on it. There's an Zbrush. I can't see the one I was thinking about. But yeah, the way I do it is I have this ruler in my file, and this ruler is two meters tall, and I just go back and forth between Maya and this ruler, using this ruler and sticking to 2 meters. So ZBrush really doesn't have a world coordinates yet. I don't know if they're getting one soon, but I think they might be working on it. But yeah, that's a tricky thing. ZBrush only has kind of units. Okay, I think I'm ready to push this over to Keyshot. Now, I just wanted to tell you guys, I already have, name this 2. Okay, so I already have a scene set up in Keyshot. This is what he used to look like. And I'm going to unpause my rendering. And what I'm doing is I turn my CPU usage down to 50%. And so it's not taking all of my CPU usage. So I can stream at the same time, essentially. Who am I? I'm Shane Olson. Okay, here we go. So I've already changed this renderer to Keyshot, and now I'm pushing BPR, and it's sending it over to Keyshot now, and it should come in here in a minute. There we go. Yeah, hopefully it won't kill the stream because it's only using half of my CPU, and I have like 14 cores or something. We'll see. So I'm using, I think it has 16 cores, and I'm using 8 for Keyshot and 8 for everything else. So we'll see. There we go. Oh, okay. I need to subdivide this down. In Keyshot, can you aim a highlight only to affect the iris and eyeball? Yeah, kind of. It gets tricky, for sure. So I'm going to subdivide this up, make sure everything else is subdivided, and push this over. All right, Prashant, thanks for hanging out. Send that back over so his nose isn't so... Oh, and I got to do the same to the sweater. Gosh dang it. Okay, I'm going to apply this, subdivide it. Keyshot might be too slow during the stream, you guys. Okay, I'm going to send it over one more time. Okay. Oh, Ruslan, thanks. I didn't have my subdivisions turned up all the way. That's how I usually do it. But yeah, thanks. That's a good idea. Okay, so I can turn him. Then, if I go over here to scene, I have a sphere in here, so I can see what the lighting looks like. And here's my ZBrush scene right here. And now if I can hold down Alt, drag this is a matte material that I made. I'm just dragging this over and dropping it on the entire thing. And what that does is it applies one single material to the entire thing. Now, if I want to apply any materials to anything else, I need to break that connection. So I'm going to roll this environment back just a little bit. There we go. It's a little too much blue on that inside. Okay, so let's get, if I select the glasses, if I can. Fabio, because this is a Pixelogic channel, and Pixelogic and Keyshot work together. So I typically do my high resolution renders inside of Keyshot. That's why I'm showing you this right now. Okay, so now I have these lenses selected, and I can hit Unlink Materials, and that's going to pull that connection apart. Now what I can do is I can go find a glass material, like this glass basic, or this one, or maybe like one of these darker ones. It depends, but we'll try this glass basic. And what you do is you hold down Alt so it doesn't get rid of the poly paint, and then drop it on there and see what happens. It's not. Hold on a second. It might not work doing that though. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna make it more clear. It's looking kind of strange. So I can click on materials, double click this glass, and get into the properties of it. I can mess with this refraction index, which will actually adjust how clear it is. And I don't know if that is sitting through. I think it might be sitting and cutting into his face right here and cutting into his eyes. So I need to pull those lenses and the glasses forward in space, because I think that's where these are coming from. So let me do that really quick. So let's see, I'm going to merge this down with the lenses and just pull it forward. Okay, I don't think it's touching anymore. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to send it back over. But it does mess up my materials, so I have to reassign those materials again. Let's go back to my scene. And then grab the lenses, unlink materials, grab my glass, and just drop it on there. Oh, you know what? Since I combined the, gosh dang, since I combined the rims with the lenses, it's all one piece now. But now it's not getting those anomalies. So hold on one second. Let me break those back apart. Gosh dang. All right. One of these days I'll get it right. Here, let me just do auto groups. Okay, split, hidden. All right, let's try it one more time. Oh goodness. All right. Come back, Stan, come back. Did it not go over? What's going on? Go over. Yeah, it uses Zbrush to Keyshot bridge to talk to Keyshot. It pushes it over there. Still going. I don't know what's up. See, I was reluctant to do any kind of rendering on stream because it's always crazy, you know. There's always gotchas and stuff. Oh man. So I can delete this and then send it back. I'm just going to delete him out completely and send him back over. Should go. Come on. Have I worked on any realistic characters? Not really. Stylized characters are more my forte. So I don't typically do realistic characters. I don't know why this isn't working anymore. Let me switch the render back from Keyshot. Just hit render. Then I'll do it again. Because you can render in Zbrush, but it just kind of, you have to adjust a lot of the settings. Keyshot just kind of makes it better. Come on, Keyshot. Do it. It just decided to break the connection somehow. Gosh. I might have to restart Keyshot. Sorry, guys. So I'm gonna restart this. Get it back in. See if it'll even work. There we go. Oh, now it works. There's Stan said, this is the default scene in Keyshot. This is what he looks like in the default scene. Which isn't bad. But I've made this scene that is this one. It's just a sphere. Takes a minute to load. Anyway, it's just a sphere that has HDRI lighting that has blue on one side and orange on the other. It's just a little more dynamic lighting. It's the default lighting's pretty good, but there we go. It comes in with a sphere. So that's what the default lighting looks like. Now let's see if we can push into that scene. There we go. Okay, so I want, if I turn him around, you can see that it's not the best lighting, so I need to roll that back around. So if I click on environment, and then I gotta wait for a minute, you can actually rotate the lighting scene, the HDRI image. Okay, come on. Once it loads this section, here we go. Okay, so if you go on this rotation, you can see the HDRI image, the HDR image, I should say. Up here, this is kind of the blue, the orange. This is a fill light. No, it saved it from last time, Neil. It's still at 50%. Thanks. So now I can rotate this blue so it's back behind him. Kind of tweak it a little bit. Something like that. Okay. So then it warms up his skin tones and stuff like that. Looks nicer. Okay, but now to get that rim light to really work, I need to put this matte material on there again. Let's try it again. Put it on the whole thing. Okay. Why won't you go on there? Oh, this. Gotta grab the material itself, not the folder it's in. There we go. Then it just affects the lighting a little bit differently. Then I can grab these lenses, unlink the materials. We've done this before. Grab the glass and just drag it onto the glass. And then turn the refraction index down a bit. Now I'm not getting those weird things happening inside there. Okay, and then essentially you just kind of let it sit and render. Hey, what's up, Seagull Rush? Is learning anatomy necessary for modeling this kind of characters? Yes, it is. It is. Oh, I need to put some shiny material on his eyeballs. Okay, sorry, squirrel. Yeah, it's all the anatomy knowledge helps. So if you, because you need to know where the eye lives as comparison to the ear, as compared to the nose, to the mouth, everything has kind of measurements and systems and, you know, where they exist. And then like you have muscles in the face and how chins work and how forehead muscles work and all that kind of stuff. And all of it goes into knowing where, you know, how all those systems actually work. So yes, I would say so. I'm going to hide these lenses for a second, grab the eyes, and I'm going to grab this 3D Character Workshop Shiny and drop them on the eyeballs. Oh, sorry, I got to unlink the materials first. It didn't make that big of a difference. I was hoping it would catch that that little highlight, but it didn't. So sometimes it doesn't. You'll need to adjust the lights to compensate, I guess. And you can do that in the environment right here by pulling like one of these lights down. But I don't want to go into HRA editor here because it takes up so much CPU space that I don't want to like stop the stream. So yeah, his glasses should be a little more brownish in tint. So I can try, I'm going to put a little, I can go to the glass again and look for a different material. There's a little yellow or orange. Let me see what other ones there are. There's one that's kind of close. Yeah, let's try this. Let's dumping this one on there. Let me see if I can adjust the color to it. Yeah, I can make them a little more brown. Let's just change that refraction index. That's getting closer. It makes me laugh. Seagull Rush. That's my secret. I'm always joking. You can adjust the color in here. Rose colored lenses. Yeah, that's pretty good. So the thing with Keyshot is now you can just, if you want, you can just kind of leave it and let it go. Or you can actually hit render and make it render. So you can just kind of set it and forget it, and this will get better and better and better as you let it go. Then I'll probably paint the highlights in by hand inside of Photoshop or something. Yeah, that's much easier than trying to deal with the lights in render to get, or in the lights inside of Keyshot to get them to work perfectly without affecting anything else. So, and that's also doing, I'd paint out a couple of other things, like see the shadow being cast by the eyebrow here. I'll probably paint that, soften that out a little bit. You can do, there's no rules as far as like, you know, when it comes to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you can't paint over your render. Well, sure you can. It's called post-processing, and you can totally do it. So anyway, that's yeah, that's pretty much it. Do you guys have, I can do a bit of Q&A if you want. Since I'm kind of done early with this guy, I still have another, I don't know, 20 or so minutes. But I can show you some stuff in ZBrush if you have specific questions. And I'm just going to let this guy render in the background and go back to ZBrush and then save this. Oh, you can also see how big of a difference the camera makes, the focal point, and I need to change that. So let me change that right now. I want to make him flatter. There we go. It looks more like Stan if it's flatter, not so fish-eyed. Okay. You can mess with this field of view too, but let's get him somewhere like that. That looks better. All right. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to let him render. I'm just trying to see if I turn him like that, he's not looking at the camera anymore, but you can see some of his hair. So I'm trying to decide exactly what angle I want him at. Probably like that. All right, I'm gonna let him cook. Okay, and like I said, if you want this user interface and my brushes, you can always go grab them over at cgcharacterworkshop.com. I give them away for free for hopping on my newsletter. I send out letters once in a while, not very much. Yeah, his portrait. Yeah, that's how you know when your caricature is looking okay, is because it makes you giggle, you know. Yeah, Andy, it does. Keyshot has a ton of lighting setups, a whole bunch of them. So, I mean, I can go through and show you some of those, but I can't while he's cooking, and it takes a while too. Illuminated planes, yep, you can put those in there as well. You can, but I only do that if he's animated. If he's going to be a still shot like this, I just kind of cheat and paint him in by hand. But yeah, you can totally do that. You can put stuff in like that. So Defrani, I showed how to do his shirt collar in the last stream. So if you go to Pixelogic's YouTube channel, you can watch that. But essentially, I just draw the topology on with the collar flipped up, and then I just manually pull the collar down and then add thickness to it. Yeah, it's not crazy. So do I recommend doing retopology during or after finishing a high poly model? I do when you're going to take it to a game resolution mesh. If you're going to just do an illustration or if you're going to print it, then there's no need to do retopology. Retopology is if you're going to take it to a film or television or any time you're going to do deformation. So that's when you want to have retopology. Can I show a high res and a retopo comparison just to show difference between the two? I don't know if I'm... Oh, last week's video's not up? Okay. Yeah, I'm not... It should be up soon. Keyshot isn't necessary, but it's nice to have. Like it's really easy to get really good renders from it. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's really easy to get good renders without having to be like a technician, you know? Like I remember some of the days trying to get Mental Ray to render something nice, and you almost have to be like a PhD in lighting to get that thing, you know? So it's yeah, it's just Keyshot it's just kind of it's ready to go, I guess is a good way to say it. It's like out of the bag, ready to go. It's really fun to play with too. So let me save this out. I can render it later, but here, this is essentially what it looks like. So I can show you some of the stuff that Keyshot comes with. And if you purchase Keyshot through Pixelogic, which you should because it's much cheaper, and you purchase the Keyshot bridge, it comes with a whole bunch of materials and environments. But for some reason, I don't have them loaded in here. It's not working. But what you can do with this now is you can go to these environment tabs or the color tabs, material, any of the back plates. There's a whole bunch of stuff that Keyshot comes with, and it comes with even more if you get it with the Zbrush version. And if you buy Keyshot from the Keyshot website, you probably don't want to do that because it's extremely expensive, and it works with all programs. This version of Keyshot only works with Zbrush, so you couldn't push a Maya file in here and expect it to render out. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot of this really quick. Let's see. there is a, it's been a while. Export, no, hold on, render, save screenshot right there. So under render, you can just say save screenshot and it'll just save it at its point right now. So I can just pull this into the scene. Oh, come on, and drop it in here, and it will put him into this. It will put him into the scene. Yeah, you can totally get a good render. You can get a good render out of Zbrush too. What are you saying? Or show any of your Disney Infinity work? Yeah, it's kind of hard to show Infinity work. Let's see. So under environment over here, I can change this to lighting environment. And then you can see him. He's kind of sitting in this scene, right? And the sphere, he's in a, that's what an HDR image is. It's a sphere image. And he's sitting inside this image now, right? So you can put him in an environment like this. He's in his office now. And then it'll render out in this environment with these lights. And you can rotate this environment to get different lighting effects on him. It's really cool. Because Keyshot and Zbrush, they're kind of they go together, and it just makes it easy to render. Maya's expensive if you don't have Maya, and it's, yeah, you just want to, if you want to use this, it's just an option. And this is Pixelogic's Twitch stream, so I am pushing to YouTube, Pixelogic's YouTube, and Pixelogic's Facebook as well. So I'm not talking about other render engines right now. I'm only talking about Keyshot and Zbrush. So there are other alternatives for sure. But this is just a really nice way to get good lighting quickly. And you can just try different things. We'll put in another environment like this one, and you can just spin it around. So the ones that come with Keyshot when you buy it for Zbrush, there's like a table, and there's materials like Chavant clay to make it look like a sculpt, and you can dump it right on your character, and it will look like a, you know, it'll make it look like a real clay sculpture, which is super cool. I don't know why they're not loaded right now. You can dump another one on here. So this environment looks like this. It's kind of this open warehouse, and you can rotate it so the windows are kind of showing in here. It's pretty even lighting. The best lighting is when it's kind of high contrast. Excuse me, like this stairwell. It just gives a better lighting scenario. Then you can go into here, this HDRI editor, and then you can put your own lights in here. And they're called pins. You can add a new pin, and you can put it in here. And it will, this is a light, essentially a light, and you can drag it around and it'll affect your character. And then you can click on set highlight, and then you click somewhere in your scene, and it will line up that light to shine right at whatever you just shined it at. So that's kind of a cool, but that only comes with Keyshot Pro. That's not Keyshot Standard. So in Keyshot Standard, you can't edit the HDRI images, and you can't do animation. So that's the differences between Pro and Standard. Is Pro, you can do animations, which means like a turntable or, you know, a camera pan or something like that, and you can edit these images with, and you can make your own. You can kill the entire scene and just drop your own lights in there. But you can do your own lights with. Now I'm gonna just discard this. You can put your own objects in there from Zbrush and turn those into lights. You just add a light material to those objects, and they will become scene lights. And you can do that with the standard version. So you can edit your own lights fairly easily, and it works out pretty good. Anyway. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Here's some outdoor stuff, studio stuff. See, it comes with all of these studio lights. Pretty crazy. And here's the startup. If you just dump in the startup one. I'll type a 0 in here. And this, yeah, the startup one is pretty nice. And you can turn on floor shadows, so ground shadows. You can even turn on ground reflections. It's hard to see, but you can see this reflection in the floor right here. And flatten ground just means that it will bring the ground right up to meet your model. Can you do transparent effects inside of ZBrush Render? You can. So you just apply a transparent material. You won't see it until you render it. That's kind of the pain in the butt about it. But you can do it. Okay. So yeah, the outdoor ones are kind of fun. Like put them in the middle of a street. Stand in the street and rotate it around. Probably turn off ground reflections now. Just standing in the street or on the sidewalk. Just a stand head on the sidewalk. Let's get some really crazy shadows going on here. I don't know. Then you can use the lighting environment from one of these HDRI plates and put your own background behind it. So you can just use this lighting and then use a different background. You don't have to use the lighting environment to put him, you know, to have him to be the background, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Yep, ZBrush, yep, you can also export all those different image passes. Same with Keyshot, you can do that in Keyshot as well. You can do, you can export some things like your depth pass and AO pass. There's one called the clown pass. It's essentially like, it'll break up your different objects into different bright colors. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that Keyshot will do. Hey, what's up, Liam? So, yeah, and I can just rotate this around. Stick stand in the middle of the street. Gotta love those glasses, those brown glasses. Anyway, it's a lot of fun to play with. I like it. Sun and sky. Wow, those are crazy shadows. Crazy shadows. Look at those shadows. Like, what is going on? I think my favorite one so far is this conference room. With Stan in particular. It's a little blown out. You can also adjust the contrast and the brightness of the, but it'll do it to the entire image. So let's see, if I change this to color, so it's using the lighting of this HDRI image from conference, but I added a color backplate, and you can change that color if you want, or you can go get a backplate image. Like if you had a picture of, you know, Spider-Man or something back there, you could do that. And you could, let's see, what else? Oh, contrast and brightness. So you can crank up the contrast or drop it a little bit. Since it was so hot, you can turn it down to about 0.9 instead, because his forehead was getting blown out a little bit. And then you can crank up the brightness or crank it down, or, you know, just mess with those a little bit. And this size, this is the size of the sphere that he's sitting in. So if I zoom way out, let's turn on the lighting environment, and I zoom way out, see he's sitting in this sphere. What I can do is increase the size of that sphere or decrease it and put it closer to him, and that'll change the lighting as well. That'll just adjust it a little bit. And you can actually see the reflections in his glasses from this environment, which is really cool. Are you heckling me, Seagull Rush? That's a cool spelling of Shane. I wish my name was spelt like that. I can't find the last video from the stream. I believe it's not up yet. So it should be up soon. There we go. Let's put this color on. I'll just let it render like that. That's not bad. When we see the new video, okay, yeah, I don't know. It should be going up soon. So let me see if it's up. Let me see. One second. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. All right. So this one, yeah, this one is the, yeah, that's the end of this one. So this is the character that I did before, previous. And this is live now. So they should be putting it up soon. But you can find it by going to ZBrush Live right here. It's pixelogic.com/ZBrush Live. And then you can go to presenters right here. Yeah, it's just not up yet. They need to put it up. And then this is me and all the other presenters. And you can click on past broadcast and schedule. And go to here and you can see all of my past videos right here. And there's like more than 60 of them, I believe. Would I recommend a base for a character? Just watch, I would watch my past streams where I build my own bases pretty much every single time out of primitive objects. And I also teach an online course. It's at 3dcharacterworkshop.com. You can go here and check it out. I have it closed for the currently, but I will be opening it again early next year. But you can download my brushes in this user interface and get on my newsletter if you'd like. And I teach exactly this method and exactly how I do all of this stuff. So if you're interested, just hop on my newsletter and you'll be reminded when I open it for enrollment again. So, and I've also started doing student-only live streams, which I do on Wednesdays. I'm going to be starting that up soon. And then I do student Q&As on Fridays, so the students can come and ask questions. And hey, what's up, Pedro? Thanks, man. There he is, Stanley. Yeah, they should be putting it up soon. So just be patient and check back. So, oh, thanks, Tenchi. So, do I have an epic thing or not yet? I might just do the epic thing in the student-only stream. And I might just keep doing just little things like this during the live stream for Pixelogic. I'm not sure. So thanks, Jace. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I've been drinking this water and I really need to go to the bathroom by about now. 2 hours is a while to sit here and stream. It is up on Facebook, Pixelogic. Oh, okay. Thanks. The yellow. Oh, funny. Thanks, Paul. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. And hey, Lucky, how's it going? And I will see you guys. So I'm going to be taking a vacation from streaming for 2 weeks. So I won't see you again until next year. So have a happy rest of 2018 and have happy holidays if you celebrate that in your country. And happy holidays to everyone. And we'll see you in January. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a good one. See you later.